performance. Second thing we wanted to say was that the region is so big and bad that if you want to look at the behavior of other regions, so let's take Volta and Oti as the traditional NDC strongholds. So you have Volta and Oti. If you put Volta and Oti against Ashanti, apart from 96, where you would say NDC has a bigger margin, from 2000, Volta and Oti are not able to damage any Ashanti. So you have 2000, 54, 41. Runoff 56, 43. 2004, 54, 44. 10-point gap for MPP. 2008, 14-point gap for MPP, even though this is an election that NDC eventually won in the second round. 2012, 10-point gap for MPP. 2016, look at that. Almost 22% gap. Now let's come to the most recent election. Ashanti is 57%, Volta and Oti 41. I mean, when you put this together, so MPP has a 16% gap. So let's see what Upper East and Upper West will do to this issue, right? Because the other stronghold for NDC is obviously Upper East, and you add Upper West. So what do we have? Now you add Upper East and Upper West. It's getting closer, but
still not
it's
enough
still not enough to
spread out.
96, NDC wins 58-37.
Yeah.
2000, NPP has a 3-point advantage.
That's
2004, they have a 3-point advantage. So you see that it's dropped from a 10 to a 3-point advantage.
Number,
2008 is an 8-point advantage. 2012 is the closest, where Volta, Upper East and Upper West together get 48.6. MPP with Ashanti gets 49.67. Okay. Then 2016 is 12-point gap. So let's take a most recent election. 2020 is an 8-point gap for MPP when you take Ashanti and you compare it to the 2 or 3 traditional strongholds of the NDC, which is
Volta, Upper East, Upper West. So you've even added OT, right? In
wonderful.
This thing. Yeah.
So now let's add North.
Okay.
Because generally, the North was seen as the NDC stronghold until recently.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to see what it will take to see a green.
Yeah.
Since 96, what would it take for Ashanti to be upended? So we started with Volta and Oti. It wasn't enough. Upper East wasn't enough. So now let's add the 3 regions in the North. So Northeast, North,
and Savannah.
And then Savannah. Now you see some greens.
Okay.
So 2000, there's a split. 45-45. So now NDC edges it by less than 1%.
Yeah.
2004, there's still a split.
Yeah.
47-47. So even though NDC is getting something, it's really like
not so high.
It's nothing.
Yeah.
2012 is the only time you can say they actually
bit of disparity. Yeah.
They actually appended the Ashanti advantage, and that, by the way, was the year that MPP gave Ashanti only 70%. Right. So that's why people say, Charlie, if Ashanti doesn't turn up, then MPP they are hot.
Yeah.
So the only year that Volta and the 5 regions of the North was able to defeat Ashanti properly was 2012.
2012. 47 and then 50.
That was the only year that 63. Volta, Oti, and the 5 regions of the North was able to defeat Ashanti properly. But let me make it more interesting. Let me remove Northeast, because Northeast is now, you can say, technically not anybody's stronghold, and it's become even. And let me give Western North as a stronghold and add Bono East and see what happens. This is what they call for shaggy reasons. So let me remove Northeast from the equation, all right, because Northeast is not an NDC stronghold anymore. Let me rather take Western North, which they tend to do very well. If I take Western North, I've not added Bono East yet. If I take Western North, similar effect. They just have 51-46 for 2012, so slightly better, because Western North gives NDC more than Northeast. So, and again, with that, it's still 45-45 2000, 47-47 2004. So the effect is not as strong. It is only when I add the final stronghold,
Bono East.
Bono East, before you begin to see any proper movement. Even with that, okay, the structure of the map does not change.
Yeah.
Ashanti alone, you're adding Volta, Oti, Upper East, Upper West, Savannah, Northing,
yeah.
and then you add Western North and Bono East. Then you're noticing now that the lines are, but still the marks are very close, right? So 2000 is 45, 45, still less than a percentage. Then 2004, 47, 47, less than a percentage gap. 2012 is where you can say there was a proper gap of 6%. Even with that, in 2020, you can say it was a split. Yeah. Because Ashanti wins it by 49 to 48. Yeah. So Ashanti is big and bad. Yeah. That's the conclusion.
So this doesn't change much. Is there any other region we can
If I add Eastern region to this, it annihilates everything. So let's add Eastern region to this. You notice that then there's only one green left, 50, 47, and then the 96 one. So since 2000, if you add Eastern to Ashanti, all these regions are not able to append Ashanti and Eastern, except this. But let me even add Northeast to see if historically it will make any difference. Because Northeast traditionally has helped NDC until now. Okay. Still the same. So all 5 regions of the North, so you have every region except Bono and Avle. And then Central and Western and Greater Accra against Ashanti and Eastern. Still an MPP clean sweep except 2012, where there's a 3% gap.
This is
so Ashanti is very powerful.
Very, very powerful. Okay. Yeah. So with this in mind, let's relook at let's go into detail of the NDC Stronghold and see whether the new numbers, as we know, and then based on the historical analysis, it will see something better for them this time.
So for that, I need to migrate to the other side.
So which region would you love to start with?
Well, I think I need to go to Volta.
Okay.
Because the other thing I did with Sanda last week was to show you that quickly in Ashanti, the voter increases happened around the outskirts, coinciding more with the strongholds of the NDC. So, for example, I showed you that Setrafran Plains was the biggest grower in Ashanti of 21%. Then you have other places like Ejira say 14% growth. Then you even have places like Offenso North, where NDC has had some joy in the past. They got a 20% increase. Places like Ahafo Southeast, the Ahafoanos did a lot of registrations. They are close to Ahafo, so 18%. So that was the other point we made about this issue. But let's do, so we basically said that the Ashanti increase in votes was among the 3 lowest in terms of percentage, only 9%. So Vivian, if you look at the 3 regions that grew the least in terms of voters, it was Greater Accra, Ashanti, and Western. Greater Accra grew by only 6%.
Below the national average of about 10%.
Very low. Western grew 8%, below the national average. And then Ashanti grew by 9%. And we also said that those lower growths coincide with voter intentions, because in the map we did last week, generally, the higher you go, the more people want to vote. Now, Sanda made an important point last week that prior to the coming into play of the Ghana card, people wanted the voter ID card, not just to vote, but also as a sign of citizenship or whatever. But now with the Ghana card, people only go for voter registration if they want to vote. So if people are not registering, it means they don't want to vote.
They don't want to vote,
You get it? So we can say that the lower growth in Greater Accra, Western and Ashanti indicates a challenge with willingness to vote as compared to other regions. Okay, so let's go to NDC Strongholds and see how they registered. So I'll start with Volta. Volta grew by 12.9, that's 13%, 3% above the national average. So where is the growth coming from? Akachi North, Akachi North, 18%. Interesting. Hohwe, 18%.
Amadu's place.
Very interesting. Adaklu, 14%. Bando, 13%. North Dai, 13%. So the 5 biggest growers in Volta together, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Average of 15%. But Vivian, it's only 24,000.
Yeah.
Now, put this in context. In the central region, the biggest grower was Efutu.
Efutu, yeah.
Efutu alone had 18,000 new voters.
Yeah.
If you take Ewutu Senya East, it was almost even more, about 24,000 new voters, right? The 5 biggest growers in Volta gave you only 24K.
24.
So even though percentage is high, the absolute number is not that big. That's the first point. Then let's look at the second tier growers in the Volta region. Angolon, 10%, national average territory. South Tone, 12%, a bit higher. South Tone is Sokakope.
Yeah.
So Accra's expansion and Adan's expansion affects that. Central Tone, 11.6% growth. North Tone, 11.75% growth. South Dai, 10%, not that much. Afajato, 10%, not that much. Whole Central, 9%, not that much. Whole Central is the second largest in Volta. Didn't give you that much. Let's look at Ketu South, which is the biggest constituency in Volta. Only 8% increase. 11,000 is big, but so together, Volta region had 119,000 new voters, which is a 12% increase. Okay, so it's not that wild. Let's look at Oti and see what's happening in Oti. So I'm taking out, so let's take Oti. All right. Now, Oti is an interesting place because the biggest growers are not necessarily NDC Strongholds. The NDC wins everywhere, but North Kwanta, 19%, 20%, 10,000. Interesting. We'll try and find out what's going on there. Go to Karachi East, 19%. All right. Come to Akan, 17. So let me take the 3 together. Biggest performance in OT, 23K. So 3 biggest performance in OT is close to the 5 Volta, biggest in Volta.
Yeah.
When you put the 2 together, almost 40K.
Yeah, that's
it's not that much. Okay. Then let's look at other places. Karachi East, 14%, not bad.
Karachi,
Umaru, 12%, and then in Kwanta South, 12%. So these are generally higher than 10%. Biakoye, 11%, and then the reason the region's overall percentage goes down is that Guan was carved out of Buem, partly. So Buem suffered because of Sal.
Yeah.
Sal is between Hohwe and Buem. And a lot of the people who didn't vote were originally in Buem. So you can say that Buem lost voters. That's why they have a negative growth of voters compared to their previous year. Okay. So let me put OT and Volta together and see what we have. So together is 1.4 million voters, 151K.
Yeah.
Ashanti grew by 270K.
270.
So 120 less than
and these
Ashanti.
are 2 regions together.
Obviously 1 region in the past.
Yeah.
All right. So I don't think there is any method to the growth in voter population. Unlike Ashanti, where you can say in the outskirts, I would say more growth occurred in Oti than Volta.
Okay. And because do we know why with the Oti side? Is it, you do that, your analysis on the spillover to the next place?
Vivian, that's a good point. Let me take Northern region. Because you know that Northern region, let me do something. Let me remove Volta here and take Northern region. Because you remember that last week, our biggest growers were in the north.
Yeah.
You hit it. See what we are doing here?
Yeah.
So, this is Woolensi. Woolensi grew by what? 18%.
Yeah.
In Kwanta North is Woolensi's neighbor, 19%. Yeah. I think you hit the point. So, this is correct. So, the growth in the north influenced Oti, which is why this big red gash comes all the way. So starting from Tolon, all the way down to Woolensi, growth. Don't forget, we said Tamale didn't grow that much. So Vivian, I think your point is correct. Oti's growth is possibly as a result of the enthusiasm in the north spilling down into Oti. So you notice its neighbors in Kwanta North, Pandai, Woolensi, together 19%. You can add Nkwanta South, Karachi and Chumuru, still a healthy 16%. So maybe this is where the issue is. So I think that's a very important point. The north growth has positively influenced the OT region. Now let's do the other stronghold. So to summarize the Volta OT story, it's not a very big increase. Together, it's, just give me a minute, Volta and OT together, I'm pulling this off.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to restart this.
Yeah.
Good. So Volta and OT together are giving me a total voter registration of 1,434,000, which is even less than half of Ashanti.
Yeah.
Ashanti is how much? 3.2.
Yeah, 2-ish. Yeah.
3.3. So this 14 times 2 is 2.7. It doesn't get anywhere close.
Not near at all.
Let me just add Upper East and Upper West and see what I'll get before I come to them separately. So Upper East and Upper West, because don't forget that was the original. When you put Upper East, Upper West, and Volta and OT together, 2.6, and Ashanti is 3.3.
Yeah. Still
so
not.
This is 400k, almost 700k.
Yeah, more.
Less. All right. So there isn't. You have a voter, and by the way, interesting point though. Take a look at this number. What is this?
282,373.
What does it remind you of?
The numbers that Ashanti has grown by, right?
Yes. So you have hit something interesting. Volta OT Upper East Upper West is 2.6 million. Ashanti is 3.3 million. But in terms of the new voters,
the growth,
it's very similar.
Yeah.
Ashanti is 272k. These four guys, 282k.
Yeah.
Could that mean anything?
Yeah.
Does that suggest that they could match Ashanti? I'm not sure. Because collectively, it's just an 11% growth.
Yeah,
and Ashanti is 10.
Yeah.
So you notice that it's not
good enough.
It's not that good. So it's the north that makes it interesting.
Yes. Let's see what
if you add the big boys north, boom. Already the growth is 442k. Yeah. Already you've jumped
to 3.9.
You've jumped from 280 to 442.
Yeah.
Just adding north, boom. Add Savannah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Add Savannah. 486. Now you're talking. So let's add northeast. 530. So now you're talking, right? So look at the map. So Volta and the north. Volta and the north.
Yeah.
That is now 530.
Yeah.
And all the growth is coming from the north.
Yeah.
All right. So if we remove everybody and leave the north to remind ourselves of what we did last week, all right, let's remind ourselves of what we did last week. Volta off, Upper East off, Upper West off, Savannah off, OT off. And I'm just keeping north, northeast, and Savannah. Look at that. 254,000.
254.
Volta's growth is very small. So these are the growers. I added Volta. When I added Volta and Upper East and Upper West, I had 282.
Yeah.
Just one region.
Just with the northing side.
254.
This is interesting.
It's absolutely incredible.
So it means that the northing side has become very key in pushing up the numbers.
Which is why when we did this last week, the biggest grower in Ghana is this people. Sorry, let me remove Ashanti. Forgive me. Ashanti, what are you doing here? The biggest grower in Ghana is, look at this. It's undisputed.
Yeah.
The biggest grower in Ghana for the old 10 regions. Let me reduce this a bit. Sorry about that. So if you take your 10 regions, again you notice Greater Accra, Ashanti, Western is not doing that well.
Not much, yeah.
The biggest grower
is this bad boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very interesting.
So this is very interesting. The numbers are just showing a lot, and what stronghold areas must do to shore up their figures and all that. I'll take a quick break.
Yes.
When we come back, we'll delve more into the numbers as we look at the strongholds of the NDC for the 2024 elections. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Uncle!
Aww. This Christmas is giving.
It's giving!
Are you ready, kids?
Sis, is the jollof ready? These your people.
The area must be for kudos!
The jollof is ready!
Sakura. Senyando, and you're the kind of
I'll be right there.
Sorry, the pepper from the jollof.
Thompson, it's been an emergency. We need to step out for a bit.
Oh.
5 more minutes.
Hey, Mrs. Afri, can we get some takeaway packs?
This Christmas, it's giving the best in entertainment on DSTV. Grab a DSTV decoder or reconnect to your existing subscription and be entertained.
Now this is giving. Thank you!
This election season, Channel 1 TV is bringing you closer to every vote, every constituency, and every result. Our team will provide in-depth data-driven analysis to show you what each vote means for our nation.
From the campaign trail to voting day and the final declaration of results, Channel 1 Television is covering it all. We'll be on the ground in all 276 constituencies, so every voice is heard and every community represented.
Our comprehensive election coverage brings you every key moment and every voice,
with updates from all stakeholders nationwide. This is election news you can trust, powered by the latest data and expert analysis.
Join us on Channel 1 TV for election coverage that keeps you informed and engaged.
We're here for every step of the journey. Channel 1 TV, your election bureau.
You're welcome back to the Situation Room. My name is Evan Kai. Look here with Bernard Avle. We're looking at the strongholds of the biggest opposition party currently. That's the NDC. We've taken you through the Volta region, the Oti region, parts of the northern region as well. Looking at the numbers, what it would take to square out the Ashanti region, for example. Let's take you to other strongholds of the NDC and see what the numbers look like for 2024. So Bernard, you've cleared Oti, you've cleared Volta, you've cleared parts of the northern region, depending on how we want to look at the projections. Let's go to the other strongholds of the NDC.
Because of the way the regions have been split, Western North is very strong for NDC, and then Bono East.
Okay.
So maybe let's look at Western North. All right.
You see 4 strong people there already.
Yeah, plus 53K, 11%, a bit slightly higher. So Volta had a higher growth than this.
Yes.
So let's start with Bia East, 22%.
Yeah, but that's just 6K.
Bia East, I will try and see if there are any continuities later. The next one, Suaman or Suaman, 23. I remember NPP was taking issue with some of the numbers in the border constituencies in 2012. So Suaman is big for them. The other two, Joaboso 14%, almost 15. And then Seshua Kontumbra. So you take the top 4 in Western North who grew collectively 17%, 23. Let's look at the other areas in Western North that you say do reasonably well. Bibiani and Huanso Bekwai 9% below national average. Our win 7%
below.
Sefiwi also, which is the capital, 11%, 8,000. Who else do we have? Bia West 8%, Bodi 5%, right? So totally 53,000 new voters, a little above the national average. What is going on up here?
At the top, Bia East.
Who is their north? Maybe let's try Bono. Bono is their brother. So maybe something interesting could be going on there. You see? You see, Bia East and Doma West.
Okay.
So maybe that's something happening.
Something happened there. Yeah.
Doma is bordered Cote d'Ivoire. So you can say that in this western enclave, Banda 18%, Brekum West 17% growth, Doma West 21%, Bia East 22%. So Vivian, maybe if you look at this map very closely, there isn't no rhythm. Only to say that Bia East and Doma West together have a very high voter registration coincidence. 22% in average, 11,000. We don't know what's happening in other constituencies. So Bono, Western North is not that big.
Yeah, the numbers are not inspiring.
So where do you go? Let's go to the other stronghold then of the NDC.
Bonus.
So we have 58K new voters, 11%.
Yeah.
All right. So let's rather do Bono East. So let's take out Western North and then let's do Bono East. This looks much bigger.
It looks much nicer.
13%, very similar to Volta.
Yeah.
And 78K, higher than
Western North.
Higher than Western North. We'll probably show you this and compare it to Bono to see, because don't forget that the Bono have 3 divisions.
Yeah.
Bono is MPP, Bono is NDC, Afle is somewhere. So these people have 78,000 new voters, 13%. Who is the biggest grower? Sene West, 18%. Don't forget this was one of the closest in the parliamentary. So we don't know whether that competition is driving the numbers. Then you have Pru West, 19%. In Kranza North, 17%. So the top 3 in Bono East, 18K. Sene West, Pru West, and in Kranza North. Who else is growing appreciably? Look at the oranges. Sene East, 14. Almost 15, not bad. Higher than average. Who is this? Pru East, 14.
And then Kintampo South.
Kintampo South, 14.8. In Kranza South, 14.
And then Techiman North.
Techiman North. So, Vivian, the Bono East
is not bad.
It's not bad. 78,216 votes. Let me see their performance in 2020. Let me just see. Let's see something. 53 for Mahama. 42 for Ajo. Okay, let's try this. Performance. Senior West. Mahama wins it 62-35.
Okay.
Does this tell us anything? Let's try Pru West. 51-47. Much closer. Still NDC anyway. Nkranza North. So let me add the 3 biggest growers and look at their performance. What do you get? 8% gap for Mahama.
Yeah, against 45.
So these are NDC strongholds. Let's look at the other level. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the second group of growers.
Biggest growers.
NDC is almost 60-40. Kintampo South plus Sene East, Pru East,
and
Nkranza South. It's NDC dominant.
Yeah.
NDC dominant. Okay. What will be interesting, Vivian, is to compare Bono East to Bono.
Okay, let's see that.
because traditionally
Bono is
MPP tilts,
and then Bono is NDC. So I think we should see that.
Maybe let's compare the performance first before I come to the numbers.
All right.
So that people will know why I'm doing this exercise. So we are just trying to see how NDC's good or strong regions compares to MPP. All right. So Bono East, in the 3 results that have 275 constituencies, 59, 52, 56. So decidedly NDC. Okay. Add Bono to it and see what you get. So you are trying to now compare the two.
Okay.
Ooh. When you add Bono, and the MPP wins it
twice.
53,
50.
So
by 45 and 50, 50 by 48.
So 52, 46 NDC 2012, 53, 45 in 2016, 50, 48. So when you put Bono and Bono East together, MPP edges it.
Yeah.
If you don't add in half.
Yeah. What are the new numbers for Bono?
Which is where I'm going.
Okay. Because we want to see.
I just wanted you to take a closer look at the map, though.
Yeah.
How blue it is on the left and how green it is
on the right side.
On the right side, right? So more eastern NDC, more western MPP for the Bono enclave. Yeah. Okay. Very similar to Accra, actually. Where the more we move to the east, it's very interesting. So the more eastern parts tend to prefer, although when you go to the western region, the more western parts tend to do well in NDC.
With the NDC.
So it's not necessarily all the same.
Yeah.
All right. So you want to see Bono's numbers?
I want to see Bono's numbers and compare the figures they gained as compared to the NDC Stronghold because it's in the Bono enclave.
Okay. So Bono East gained 78,000.
Okay.
Okay. So let's see how much Bono gave us. Then you can decide what you make of it. Let me go to Bono alone.
Bono, let's see. Okay, that's less. 66.
Bono grew 66K.
Okay.
What does that mean? Bono is grew more than Bono. So Bono is 719,000.
Yeah.
Let me try Bono East.
Bono East was how much?
672.
672.
So a little above 30,000.
Yeah.
A little above 30,000. So let's put the two together and see what we have. Ooh. I think you can see why the more eastern you go, the greater the growth. And by the way, apart from Brekum, so let me show you something. Apart from Brekum West, in the highest growth, which MPP won, 65 to 33.
Yeah.
Everybody else in red is won by NDC.
NDC.
So let's take it one by one. Who is this guy?
Doma? No. Doma West.
Doma West. What's the result? 53, 45. So apart from Brekum, everybody else, okay, actually no, Banda 2.
Banda 2
51, 48.
Yeah.
Okay, the theory doesn't hold. But in Kranza North, MPP wins it as well.
Wins.
Pro West, NDC.
NDC has it.
Cine West, NDC. Let's try the oranges.
West. Okay.
Cine East, NDC.
NDC.
Pro East, NDC. Nkranza South,
NDC.
Who is this? Wenchi.
Wenchi, MPP.
Oh my God.
To be expected.
Look at Wenchi. 49.6, 49.0.
49%. That's close.
Oh my God.
But you think Wenchi, that's Dubois' place, right?
Yeah. But you know, in the past, it used to be part of Tain.
Okay. So
but this is interesting. George Ambafo. Wow.
Oh.
Presidential, 49.6 for MPP.
He was struggling himself and he couldn't whip up the votes for his boss as well.
So if you look at the difference in votes, it's less than 1,500.
Yeah. Very
so Wenchi was very close. Let me look at this one. Techima North.
NDC has.
They are very close numbers.
Yeah.
21K NDC, 21K MPP. It's just less than 800 votes in Techima North. Let me try Techima South. 52-46. Wow.
Techima North.
You know what's even funny? Techiman South, the percentage and the votes are the same.
52.3,
52.3, 52.
Yeah.
46, 46.
That's right.
That's quite interesting. Let me look at Nkranza South, NDC 40. These are very close numbers, Vivian. Kintampo North. Okay, that's a bit more. So collectively, they grew by 144,000.
Yeah.
And if you add Ahafo, just to see the growth of the Bono enclave together, 186,000 new voters.
New voters.
How does that compare to Central Region?
Let's see, Central.
So the three together, 11% growth, 186,000.
186,000.
All right, let's compare that to the two swing regions and just see what happens. So Central Region, 183.
183.
Very similar.
Yeah.
And their percentage is also 11. So Central and the three Bonos are behaving
closely.
183K, 186K.
Yes.
11%, 11%. Let's try Western and Western North together. Maybe it can teach us something we don't know. So it's 183, 186, yes, right? Let's put this together.
186.
Western and Western North. What are they doing? 155, much lower.
155, yeah. 9.36%.
Western registration is very poor.
Yeah.
Western is one of the poorest. I mean, look at this whole area. Presiahoni Valley, 5%. Wasa Menfi is 7%. Menfi Central, 5%. With all the noise in Menfi Central, 5% increase. Menfi East, 4%.
4%.
What's going on? Avle Umaru, 6%. Oh my God.
Very, very low.
What's happening to Western Region? Wasa East, 7%. Hey. Takrade, let me even take out second D. Takrade, 6%.
6.30.
Hey, Vivian. Ahanta West, 7.
Most of them below the national average.
What's their problem?
I wonder why they didn't show much interest.
Maybe, well, the results will show something. Because you notice that Central and Bono grew a bit more than Western. Western North grew by a higher margin. So Western on its own has dragged down the collective region. So Western on its own is 8%.
8.52.
Clearly, is it apathy?
It could be. I think we need to find out.
Is it apathy?
We need to. Enim should let us know why, Western.
The biggest grower in Western region is Jomoro.
Okay.
15%. The second two biggest growers are Efia, 12%.
Okay.
And then Second D.
Second D grew by
12%.
12.98.
It's very, very interesting.
Wow. This is getting more interesting.
Western region, and by the way, of your swing regions, Greater Accra didn't grow that much.
Yeah. Yeah.
So are we seeing apathy in Western and Greater Accra?
We're in Greater Accra.
Are we seeing apathy?
Okay. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll attempt to answer that question with the numbers from elsewhere. It's still the Situation Room. We're looking at the strongholds of the NDC comparing to other strongholds. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Situation All-White Christmas Party is back! This Christmas Eve, forget the usual and step into a celebration like none other. The Situation All-White Christmas Party is taking over the city with music, magic, and memories waiting to be made. Think cozy vibes, electric beats, and the perfect blend of festive cheer and wild energy all in one space. Date 24th December 2024. Venue The Underbridge, East Legon. Time 8 p.m. Dress code, it's an all-white affair. Come and dance like nobody's watching. Sip, mingle, make merry, and unwrap the ultimate Christmas Eve experience. Dress to impress, bring your holiday spirit, and let's make the Situation All-White Christmas Party unforgettable. Call 0205-973-973 for table reservations and get ready to party. It's going to be lit at the Underbridge. The Situation All-White Christmas Party 2024 is powered by Channel 1 TV with support from 97.3 City FM and proudly sponsored by Orica Ghana, sole distributors of Carlsberg and King's Beer.
This election season, Channel 1 TV is bringing you closer to every vote, every constituency, and every result. Our team will provide in-depth data-driven analysis to show you what each vote means for our nation.
From the campaign trail to voting day and the final declaration of results, Channel 1 Television is covering it all. We'll be on the ground in all 276 constituencies